Oh, are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Yes.
We're live, Jim?
Absolutely. And
Awesome.
it's morning again for those of you that may not be aware that we've switched to morning time on the East Coast, and we have our StreamYard coffee to keep us going.
Yes. Shout out to StreamYard, the sponsor of the Tim and Jim Show. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or whatever time, wherever you are in the world. We're so happy you're here with us for this special episode of the Tim and Jim Show. I'm Tim Stone here in the woods hanging out with whatever animal crosses my path or human being. And so excited because there are two amazing people here today. One is to that way and one is down that way. But I'll let that guy carry on.
Well, I was going to say, first of all, Tim, you made a mistake. There's three amazing people here because you as well are amazing.
And thank you. And Nancy Barrows is in the comments. She is amazing as well.
Yes.
Hey,
Thanks for being here.
So you need, because you need to give yourself credit sometimes, Tim, because you are definitely an amazing individual, and this show wouldn't be still going if it wasn't for you. I mean, in regards to, we're a great team, and I'm excited to meet our guest. And why don't you tell us a little bit about our guest, since you are the one that knows her much better than I do at the moment.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I just want to do the Tim dance. Dorothy O'Dell is here. She knows the Tim dance because she is in my course Survive and Rise with Live, and she's in the advanced one. But I'll let Dorothy tell everyone who Dorothy is and a little bit about her story.
Woohoo. Well, thanks, guys, for having me on your show. It's absolutely amazing to be here. And yes, Tim does not give himself enough credit. That is for sure. Amazing guy. And if you haven't taken this course, you definitely need to, because this guy is just, he gives more than 100% in his class. So definitely sign up for his next one, which starts on Monday, guys. So hurry up.
Hint.
Hint.
You can go to risewithlive.com/courses.
That's right.
Okay, now Dorothy, it's all about you.
All right, me. All right. Well, a little bit about me. I am a child of God. I'm a wife. I'm a stepmom. I'm a daughter, and I'm an amazing auntie. And had a lot of obstacles set in my way. I've overcome being bullied all through school for my weight, which led to low self-esteem, obviously, which then that allowed me to open myself up to abusive relationships because I didn't know my self-worth. And growing up, life was not easy because my parents had one medical disaster after another, or so it seemed anyways, from undiagnosed with angina and lupus for 20 years with my mom. My dad had his first stroke at 30, kidney failure. Now, hopefully, after tomorrow's scan, 2-time cancer survivor, I'm hoping. So, life has not been easy.
I hope so, yes.
We'll have the results on the 31st, but I'm just saying he's cancer-free again. And then my uncle took his life Christmas Day. Yeah, it is amazing.
Shout out to
that. My uncle did take his life Christmas Day 23 years ago. So life has been full of obstacles. And, so then I was instructed by our higher being to get out there and help people, help women especially that have been in the same situation that I've been in. And that's how the Overcomer Facing Challenges with Faith and Courage was born. The book that's out there on Amazon. And then I decided, well, let's not just stop at the book. Let's become the Overcomer Coach. And, helping women overcome their obstacles and to help them believe in themselves, because I know what it's like to feel like the crap beneath someone's shoe and to have those limiting beliefs. And so I decided, hey, let's help as many people as I can to get past their limiting beliefs and to, help them get into where they're calling that they're supposed to be into.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. We appreciate that. And there are so many people tuning in. Russ Hedge is here. Hey, Russ. Nancy Barrows is here. DJ Rodriguez is here.
Yes, DJ.
Who did I miss?
Gail Richardson over on YouTube. Good to
Oh,
see you,
Gail. Hey, Gail. Great to see
And,
you
and
here.
then I don't remember who Silver Fox Talk's real name is, but she's watching both on
Yes.
YouTube and Twitter. So she's like
Woohoo.
multi-watching.
Wow. She was in one of my courses too. She is live streaming, amazing everything. So shout out to
looks like
that.
Gail's from Windsor, Ontario as well. Well, shout out to that.
Yeah, Canada in the house. Canada in the house. Yes. All right. So everyone, if you would, please hit the share button. Let's spread the message of Dorothy. And shout out to our sponsor, StreamYard. We're so happy that they could sponsor our show. But let's dive in, guys. Today, we're going to talk about how to get beyond limiting beliefs as a business owner. I know I have these. I know many, probably all business owners have them. What do you think, Jim?
No, I agree. I think I don't know if Dorothy, if you kind of equate it to the whole imposter syndrome, where we just don't feel like we're good enough. We're always getting down on ourselves. But yeah, absolutely. I think it doesn't matter what level you're at. You're always thinking that that person that you feel like, I'm not saying that they are, that they are above you or better than you, that you always keep yourself from like, well, I couldn't be as good as them. And it's not true. Yeah. I mean, at least that's my opinion.
Yeah. So Dorothy, as a business owner, what limiting beliefs did you have, or do you have, or all the haves?
Well, like Jim said, definitely not believing. Number one, not believing that anybody would even read the book or buy the book was one of the things. I'm like, okay, so God wants me to do this, but who's going to read it? So that was my first thing. That's why I put it off for 6 years, to be honest. And then it took the pandemic for me to realize that I wasn't living my full potential. So that's why I decided to write it. And so that limiting belief, though, that because when I was in that abusive relationship, I was made to feel worthless, and I was made to feel, that nobody would listen to me anyways, and I couldn't do anything right. So those old beliefs had locked into that, and I had several businesses in the past. Like, I've always had a job, and I've always had at least one or two side gigs my entire life. As soon as I was in high school, I've had that. So anywhere from bookkeeping to selling candles to financial services, you name it, I've done it. And they were not always successful. Some of them were, some of them weren't. And so, I learned a lot of valuable lessons in that. And then, when the businesses that didn't work, then you're like, crap, then those old insecurities came back. But definitely, just getting a lot of healing myself and a lot of coaching from other people has helped me to get past those beliefs. And, I'm not going to lie, once in a while it will come up. And even now, after, years and years and years of healing, but, you just got to keep going. And I know a lot of us self-sabotage. You get to a point in your business and then you self-sabotage yourself so that belief will go down again. And, I've done that several times. But it's like this time, it's just like, because I'm stepping into my calling and what God has for me, that when I get to that point, it's just like, nope. So I force myself to keep going. Like, if I get that way, I go on a live and I immediately just start talking about it, and it goes away. So that's the beauty of having a show, or doing live streaming or things like that, because you're not only helping yourself, you're helping somebody else with that, being that vulnerable, so people can see that vulnerability.
That's so true. And I've talked a little bit about this before, but from January to March, I was home with the kiddos for Zoom Dad Land, Zoom School, whatever you want to call it. And I know I felt imposter syndrome, especially, and I feel it a lot of the time, but especially that's during that time, because I felt so stuck because I had to be with the kids all day long, and I would see other people live streaming and doing all these amazing things. And I'm like, now they're back in school. But I know you understand this as well, right, Dorothy? Because you've been Zoom mom.
Zoom mom. Yay. There is got to be a special place in heaven for us parents that are Zoom parents, I tell you.
Shout out to Zoom parents.
It is not easy. And I don't know about your children, but my little guy is like an attention span of a goldfish. He has to come in running into my office every 2 seconds telling me what his teacher's saying. And I'm like, so he runs in, he goes, I need some help with my math test. I'm like, it's a test today? He goes, yeah. I said, no, you're not going to have, you don't have me in the classroom. Get out there and go figure it out. And he never come back. So he must have figured it out. We'll find out when he gets his results. But,
Right.
you know, that
DJ
itself.
says hashtag Zoom parents. Nancy says hashtag Zoom educator. I like
There we
that.
go.
I like Zoom
that.
educator. DJ says hashtag attention span of goldfish. Yes, DJ understands also. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're here with Dorothy O'Dell, and we are talking all about how to get past your limited beliefs. And so Dorothy, actually, Jim, can you take the next question? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure. So Dorothy, as a business owner, what limiting beliefs do you feel like you have?
Definitely, I guess it goes back to that imposter syndrome thing. You know, where you don't think that you're good enough, right? Or how can I help another woman that's been abused? You know, like I was mentally and verbally, okay? So for me, that is different than physically, but it's still, it all connects to the mind somehow, right? And thinking, you know, because I got through it, how can I help somebody else? But then because you did get through it, you can help somebody else. You know, it's just that limiting belief that, you know, how can I help others? You know, am I good enough to do that? And then you have to step back and think, well, wait a minute, I just didn't survive everything I just survived for nothing, you know? So, you know, just keep kicking that out and just keep going to the next one, you know, the next appointment. And just also, though, surrounding yourself with positive, like-minded people is definitely helped me as well. And definitely also educating myself further in what I'm doing. So yes, I'm coaching other women, but I'm also taking a course too to help me with that, to further it. So it's, you know, those beliefs can go away, you know? So yeah, that's what I'm doing anyways. Mostly it's just like, well, why would anybody listen to me? But, you know, because no one has any idea who Dorothy O'Dell is. And that's why I'm out there pounding the pavement so people know who Dorothy O'Dell really is.
Well, apparently now you and Gail can have coffee because Gail is also in Windsor. So maybe you guys
look
can.
at that.
Yes.
That's
That was
awesome.
awesome.
And Chris Stone says, totally agree. A positive, like-minded community is huge. And that's one of the awesome things about this community, right, Jim? We all come together. We all support each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it goes back to, right. I love what you just said, Dorothy, about, you know, surrounding ourselves with positive people, because, you know, I hate to say it, but sometimes friends and family aren't always that group, right? As much as we want to think that, that's sometimes, you know, it's almost like they don't want to see you succeed. I don't think they mean it, but that's their actions do that. They try to hold you back, and like, why would you want to do that live streaming stuff? Why don't you go work at McDonald's and have a real job? The things like that. And because they don't want to take the time to understand and listen.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that, Jim, because I've had to endure that my entire life. I have a brother that I love dearly, but he does not think like an entrepreneur. He would rather just work for somebody, and that's it. Like, and he works 80 hours a week, and you know, it doesn't get to spend the time with his kids and things like that he would want to. But when I told him I was going to start up another business, he goes like, why would you do that? Didn't you learn from the last time didn't work? So why would it work this time? And I was just like, okay, thanks for the positive vibes. And so I didn't even tell him that I was writing the book. I didn't tell anybody in my family that I was writing the book. And the book is my entire life and my family, and, you know, how I overcame what we overcame. And it's just like, well, so when it was published, I handed my mom and my grandmother a copy and said, "Here you go." And then I prayed that nobody would get upset.
And how did that go?
Well, actually, my mom said, which shocked me, she said, "It was your truth. That was your truth. And I'm glad that you did it." And I was just like, wow. My brother doesn't have a copy, and I would sell one to him, but I'm not giving him one. And he hasn't bought one, so.
Mm-hmm.
But I am helping his ex-girlfriend in coaching. So.
Well,
Now
there you go.
that's pretty amazing in itself. I mean, that shows a big heart, you know.
Oh.
Oh my
Anyways.
gosh. Well, thanks for sharing that, Dorothy. We should mention there's a few people in the comments who have shows themselves. Nancy Barrows has some shows going on. She has Connected Human Conversations is on Sundays at 5 o'clock Pacific time, and The Island of Misfit Toys Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And DJ has a show called Let Your Mayhem Be Known. I think that's what it is. DJ, correct me if I'm wrong. So make sure you check out everybody's shows because they're all amazing human beings and amazing shows and all the things. So what we're going to do now, do you want to know what we're going to do, Jim? Do you want to know?
Tim, what are we going to do?
We're going to take a break from our sponsor. Who is our sponsor, Jim?
StreamYard.
StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard. We'll see you guys in 15 seconds. And when we come back, we'll be doing the Tim. Done more than ever. Let's do the Tim. Welcome back, everyone, to the Tim and Jim and Dorothy show today. And we are so excited you are here. Let us know what questions you have for Dorothy. We're talking about limited beliefs, how to get past them. And that is the focus for today's conversation. DJ says, StreamYard, we love you. Yes, StreamYard, we do love you. It's just like that. And Nancy wants to know, Dorothy, when is your show on and how can people tune in?
My show is on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can tune in on my Facebook page, which is Dorothy Graham O'Dell, or preferably you tap into my YouTube channel at Unstoppable Overcomers and like and subscribe and get the notifications when we go live.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So Jim, do you want to take the next question for Dorothy?
Sure. Dorothy, what other types of limiting beliefs are out there?
Well, I definitely think that, or not think, no. Not only like personally wise, like in business as well, we all, like, I think it just keeps coming back to the same thing. Imposter syndrome, not believing in yourself, not like DJ had said, having other people speak negatively over you and listening to that. There's other beliefs that, you know, that they can't make it in business or that they are just really, that they'll never be successful is another one that's huge. Another thing that I had to get over as well, because I had a lot of wrapped up, obviously, you know, being told from an early age that you would never succeed, that would happen. So the limiting belief of that, you know, I got rid of that quickly and just really tapping into, like I said, that community that we talked about earlier. And just really, for me, what had set the intention is for my day is I start my day with meditation. So I try and get rid of all that negative crap in the morning. You know, I just sit in silence and listen to what God has for me. And then I do 5 things that I'm grateful for, because gratitude is definitely huge. And I do 10 affirmations, and then I just journal, you know, what comes up. And if anything, any of that negative stuff comes up, I just write it down. It just usually clears it out for me. And I know a lot of people do like a brain dump at night. I generally don't have enough time at night. When I want to go to bed, I'm out because I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So the last thing I want to do is journal at night. So, do a brain dump, just write all that limiting stuff down, and it definitely clears it for sure. Oh, thanks, Nancy.
Nancy does
There's
this on
my
Brian
YouTube channel.
Schulman's show with everyone who comes on. She puts the link out there to everyone. So she's doing the Nancy thing on the Tim and Jim show. So thank you, Nancy.
Oh, that is awesome. And Tim saved my bacon on yesterday. My computer decided, as I'm getting ready for my show, to upgrade. So then it took longer than normal. So then I switched on to another computer I had. And then I forgot which, what do you call that? Account I was under. I was under the wrong account after all, but I'm like, Tim, help. So that's what happened. I was under the wrong email account. So thank you to our entire community that helps out on our shows. You're absolutely amazing. There we go.
Yes.
Facebook
Nancy's
page.
still
Yes.
doing the Nancy. So thank you,
And she's
Nancy.
doing, thank you. And Nancy does check her out too, because I know she does journaling as well. She has a daily post.
And Nancy, put your links in the comments as well. That would be awesome.
Nancy.
Yeah. So, Dorothy, tell us what inspires you to continue to coach people, write more books. What keeps you going to do all these things in this crazy world? In this crazy world.
Well, when someone says to me, "Thank you so much for doing what you're doing," because it literally had saved their life at that moment, or that it has inspired them to take action and things like that. That's what gets me motivated to continue on. And I've had a couple people that do that have said that to me. And, when I started doing, I've been doing, before I took Tim's course, I had another coach that said, just get on Facebook and do a live every day. So this is from a girl that would rather sit in the back corner and not be center of attention. So I went from sitting in the back corner to doing what she said and doing a live every day. So and sometimes it was just like, I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to talk about? And that's what it would be about. And yes, there you go, Tim. I said about, because I know you're going to ask me that. About. Sorry,
the Canadian
squirrel. And so I had people say, thank you so much for sharing that. And the more I got vulnerable with people and the more I opened up, the more it seemed that, people were being more receptive to that. So that is why I continue to go on, because I know it's helping somebody. And really, we have no idea who we're influencing, but because the people that are not saying anything are the ones that I think that are being most impacted. So that's what, again, and why I continue to keep doing what I'm doing. Because just by putting your content out there, just by showing up, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, yeah. And there will be more books. I'm working on that. I'm working on a meditation book.
Breaking news.
And I'm working on the sequel of The Overcomer. More of the how-tos. Yeah.
That's very cool. Maybe you writing more books will inspire me and Jim to write our first one.
Well, Jim had a good idea before the show.
Jim always has good ideas. What was
Jim
this one?
had an idea about the video book. So tell us more.
Yeah. So instead of calling it Audible, we call it Vaudible, where it's a video book. I mean, basically, you're telling your story for, because when you listen to an Audible book, 6-7 hours sometimes, and people could still listen to it. They don't have to watch you, but you could record your own story. And because I think it's interesting, we were talking about how sometimes these people that we listen to that are reading other people's books are horrible. So why not just say, hey, here's my story, and and then you could download it.
Read our book, Jim. Who would do the audio part for it?
We'll star as ourselves, Tim. Why have somebody else do it?
No, I didn't mean somebody else.
But if we're gonna have somebody else, I'll have Mark Wahlberg can play me.
I love Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
Yes, Mark
There you
Wahlberg is
go.
amazing.
And make sure
For
you guys
sure.
connect with Nancy Barrows. She's putting in all of her places, LinkedIn and Instagram and YouTube. She's everywhere.
She is everywhere. She's amazing.
She is amazing. And Dorothy, Nancy needs to pick your brain about a book also. So
Okay. You know how to get a hold of me. She might even
yeah.
have my phone number.
Oh.
So
it's funny because I made a joke. I'm like, I have Reggie Waterman's phone number.
Oh, here we go. So Dorothy, it's been great to have you here. Tell people how they can connect with you. How can they buy your book? How can they? Where do you want them to stalk you on social? In a good way, not
in a good way.
Way.
Yes, only good stalkers, please.
Yes.
Definitely. The most accessible I am. Like I'm just getting over to LinkedIn. So you can get me on LinkedIn at Dorothy Graham O'Dell, or you can get me on Facebook at Dorothy Graham O'Dell, or you can get me on at Graham Dorothy 408 at gmail.com. And you can not subscribe, sorry. You can order your book on Amazon. And again, that was The Overcomer Facing Challenges with Faith and Courage. And yeah, so that's where you can stalk me and get your copy today before they run out.
And
yes,
I was going to
get your
actually
StreamYard coffee.
I'm going to create a new idea for you today, Dorothy, because you've been such a great guest. You could create your own .live, and maybe you want to make it the Unstoppable Overcomer .live as a redirect to your YouTube channel. And then people would just say, go to Unstoppable Overcomer .live, and boom, for $1.99, you could have that set up. And all you have to do is go to name.com/live, and you can get your own .live, because we now have a Tim and Jim .live.
We do.
And that takes you to our YouTube channel.
I did not know that.
Learn something new every day when you're around Tim.
I am. I'm using.
That's right. So Jim, tell everyone who our guest is next week.
I'm very excited. Of course, I'm excited every week when we have a show. But next week we're going to have Cami Hoyza as our guest. She's an incredible social media. I'll call her expert. Some people don't like the word guru. I know she's done a lot with our friend Madeline Scalar. They do a social media breakfast in Houston. They have also, I don't know that they're doing it right now because
do they have StreamYard mugs? They should.
They should have StreamYard mugs. But they also do a podcast together, her and Madeline. And you come back next week because you're going to learn a lot from Cami. She's a really great person, and excited that she's going to join us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, everyone, for being here for another episode of the Tim and Jim Show. Let's do the Tim on the way out. Here we go. See you next week. Now more than ever.